What's going on, guys? It's Gendo here. Hope you're having a good day, and welcome back to another edition of the Great Chicago Fire. If you're still enjoying the series, please go and hit that like button. Now, today on the docket, we have, of course, the big rivalry match with FC Dallas, who are still sitting in first place, and also we got ourselves a U.S. Open Cup match. Let's take a look and see how we defeated the Tampa Bay Rowdies to get to this point. Just taking a look at it on paper, overall, not that big of a challenge as we were able to defeat them by the score of 3-1. Joe Mara, Kali Tiam, and Dimitar Berbatov all netting goals for the Fire. They were able to get one back in the second half, but it proved inconsequential. 16 shots, 6 of them on target, 57% possession. Overall, a stunningly dominant day to see us through into the quarterfinals. Now let's take a look at who we drew against, as well as all the other results in the MLS. After a double IVCOM of Charleston and Colorado, our very next 4 MLS matches, we went undefeated, 3 wins and 1 draw, and both 3 of those wins have been in dominant fashion. 4-0 to Philadelphia with Akam, Molino, and Berbatov, the goal scorers there. 3-0 versus San Jose, Kokish, Berbatov, and Akam. 3-1 versus Toronto at Toronto with Molino, Berbatov, and Vincent, with Sebastian Giovinco equalizing right off the kickoff from Vincent's goal. But overall, that was an inconsequential goal right there, as, like I said, we were dominating them the entire match. And then a really shocking decision as Sporting KC got off to a great start. Dom Dwyer getting an early goal. We were able to get one back in David Akam's goal in the 57th minute, but overall, nothing really taking into account which was the better side. We both had equal possession, almost the equal amount of shots on goal, so coming away with a draw here, a good result, and honestly stunning. But before we get into the FC Dallas match, we need to drag this on a little bit longer. If you remember back in episode 2, I showed you all the trades that I made before the MLS season started. Well, I never got into the actual trade screen itself, and I'll show you exactly all the options that are available to you in this trade screen. So the American transfer window has just reopened, coincidentally enough, on the most American of days, July 4th. But John Goossens has expressed his concern that he wants to move to a new team because he is not getting enough first-team football here, which is true. Kevin Molino is starting out there on the left, and then David Akam every now and then moves over to that left side as well. So yeah, I haven't been playing him. And I think it is a great time to actually get him off the books and to use this as an opportunity to show you guys what the trade screen looks like. So the drop-down menu is going to be the same for both sides. You will have the same 6 options: general allocation, targeted allocation, player rights, draft allocation, and international slots. It doesn't have to be player for player. It doesn't have to be player for money. It can be any combination of those 6. Swapping back and forth. You could trade international slots for draft. You can trade draft for money. You could trade player for international slots. It's just all over the place. It's all available to you, but this is how it's going to break down. This is what each of these options means. The first 2 options are very straightforward. General allocation money, target allocation money. You are trading away however much that you want out of your coffers in general or targeted allocation money. Now, as you can see, it does give you a maximum amount. Mine is $375,000 because I have $400K sitting in my general allocation money to use. It can be higher, it can be lower, depending on what team you are, but this is what the Chicago Fire have. Now, if I so choose to do that, it's money for player. It's almost working like a transfer, but under the guise of the MLS. Now, third option on this list is asking for a player, which more often than not you will see in American League sports, is that you will see a player moving to another team, and that other team that sold them gets a player back. Player for player trades are the most common type of trades in the United States. So say if I click on player and I wanted to trade John Goossens for, say, someone like Kellen Acosta. They probably won't do that because they need him on the defensive side, but I can offer that up, and that's an option to you, going player for player. The fourth option is probably the most vague. When you're trading for player rights, that means that in the future, when a player comes in through the academy, you will get first choice. I believe the term is right of first refusal. So FC Dallas, if the FC Dallas players coming through their academy, they can no longer offer them a contract at first time. If you own those players' rights, you have the right to offer them a contract first coming out of the academy before anybody else or before they go into the super draft. So if you're trying to offer a player's rights, there are only 4 players on FC Dallas that probably will make it into the MLS, so I could probably say, yeah, let's trade away John Goossens for Timo Petter whenever he comes up into the MLS. It's not very often that this happens, but it is an option available to you if you think that player will develop into someone good down the line. The 5th option is draft allocation, and that was the main thing that I did during this preseason is I traded away some draft allocations for the super draft, and it only gives you options for the super draft. The waiver draft doesn't take this into account. That's its own separate entity. The super draft only goes 4 rounds every year, and of course teams may have traded their picks away like I have, so everybody will have less. Some people will have more. Some teams will have more. So not everyone will have 4, but you can always trade super draft picks if you feel that you want to build your squad up from the draft. Now the final option on this list is international slots, and you can only ask for 1 at a time per team. And not only that, but you can also ask for it for a temporary amount of time. It doesn't have to be permanent. You have an option, if you want an international slot, you can have it between 1 and 5 years, or you can make it permanent. Now, after the time has elapsed, if you choose between 1 and 5, then that international slot just automatically goes back to the team that you traded it from. But if you ask for it permanently, obviously it stays on your books permanently. Like I said before, everyone starts out with 8. Some teams may have more, some teams may have less because of all the ones that they traded away, but every team starts at 8 base. I did think about trading for international slots, but I feel like 8 is just enough for my system. There are plenty of decent enough Americans within the MLS, the NASL, the USL that I could bring up into the squad, train up myself, and possibly, get into some starting roles. So I don't feel like I need to rely on international players like other teams do, like LA Galaxy, like New York Red Bulls. So in the terms of John Goossens, I don't need any of the bottom 4. I don't need a trade for another player. I don't want any players' rights. I don't want draft allocation. I don't want international slots. So I'm going to do the most Chicago Fire thing over the last few years, and that's trade for allocation money. General allocation money has been a big hot topic debate for the Chicago Fire because whenever we have traded away players, it's always for allocation money. It's not usually for another player. So I know I'm probably feeding into the Chicago Fire bias. I'm probably continuing on that mentality of, oh, he's not getting a better player. He's only going out for money. Hey, I already made my trades in the beginning of the season. I have made this team better, so I don't feel like we need somebody else right now. We need money first and foremost. So I feel we should ask for some general allocation money. Let's try and ask for $50,000. Let's see if FC Dallas will approve of that. They withdrew. Shit. And with that in mind, let's take a look at the lineup versus FC Dallas away from home. We're going to have Sean Johnson in net, Harrington, Kapilov, Opara, and Vincent along the back line. Kali Tiam's the defensive mid. Diskerud and Kokish will be the 2 center mids with a common Molino out on the wings. And the big Bulgarian sitting up top, Dimitar Berbatov. Now this match is a big match, not just rivalry-wise, but to determine basically who's going to be sitting at the top of the Supporters' Shield. We're sitting in 4th, they're sitting in 1st. If we beat them, we jump ahead of them. It all depends on what 2nd or 3rd. Don't have to worry about that right now. But if we beat them, we will jump ahead of them in the Supporters' Shield. So let's just hope that that can be done today. Let's cross fingers, hope for the best. Let's kick off and see what happens. Out to Kokish. The passing has been sublime so far in these early days. Molino through David Accam. Takes a shot! David Accam, the goalkeeper, was frozen in his spot. And 2 minutes on, Chicago is leading FC Dallas here. The passing has been sensational in these first 2 minutes. It's great vision to get it out to Accam. I'm surprised they even took that short angle of a shot, but the goalkeeper didn't do much in the way of stopping it. Oh no. And I say that, for sake. Well, Mauro Diaz shut myself up as 2 minutes later, off of a free kick, he levels the match. This is going to be a long game. Looks like FC Dallas doing the same exact thing as we started this match with some great passing. Sean Johnson with the save, and then another save right there. Right on the line. 2 minutes of stoppage time for the first half. You don't see that very often. Molino crossing in a Berbatov. And Berbatov, right before the stroke of halftime, puts the Fire in the lead. It's his 9th goal of the season. It's 2-1 to the Fire. Let's go. I mean, Molino taking it all the way to the byline. I don't expect him to cross it. That ball just stayed in bounds. And then Berbatov on the volley, flicking it into the far post, putting the Fire into the lead. Kokish probably will be subbed out. Harrington will probably be subbed out. There's just a lot of average to below average playing going on behind the front three. Through to Harrington, takes a shot, cross it in Harrington, to Molino, takes a shot. How did that even go in? Kevin Molino with his 6th goal of the season. It's 3-1 to the Fire. I was expecting Harrington to cross it in, but just from the angle and the shot that Molino took, I didn't think that was going in. It clangs off the post and just over the line. What luck. That's completely lucky there. Gets it out to Harrington. As you saw, a decent crosser early on. Berbatov sneaks it past the goalkeeper, and it's 4-1 to the Fire. We have this match on ice now as he gets double digits for the Fire this season. What a great cross. I don't know what the goalkeeper or the defenders were doing there. Harrington inside of Berbatov. Okay, the defender tried to clear it. It bounced off Berbatov. Goalkeeper hits the deck and can't stop that. Berbatov putting this match out of reach now. And about 5 seconds left, the ball being played up the wing, just easily passed around. Full-time whistle, it's FC Dallas 1, it's Chicago Fire 4. Gonna tell the boys, great win, and where does that see us? That, of course, still sees us at the top of the conference. We're on 37 points, and in fact, we, of course, jumped FC Dallas, and with Sporting Kansas City, we're 37 points level on them, but we have more wins. And there it is in confirmation. We are top of the Supporters' Shield as we start the second half of the season. Of course, it's 34 matches in the MLS before we get into the MLS Cup. So, great win. Great to see us at the top of the Supporters' Shield. But now, it's on to this. All right, so we came back to the table of John Goossens. FC Dallas once again coming in for it. And this time around, they're offering a third-round Super Draft pick in the 2018 Super Draft. So I'm fine with that. If I'm going to be getting anything for it, I might as well get a draft pick. All right, now let's get into it. The quarterfinal of the U.S. Open Cup, and DC United are going to be coming out in a 4-1-4-1. This is how we're going to line up. Same formation as always, with a little bit of a tweak. Sean Johnson, of course, is going to stay in net. Ramos, Kapelhoff, Mera, Vincent along the back line. Tiam, Diskerud, Kokish, the mids. And Akam, Molino, and Berbatov sitting up front. DeLu is going to be on the bench today, mostly as just an emergency option. If Berbatov goes down, then it's going to be Solniak. But if Solniak then doesn't perform as well, then I'm going to go to DeLu. So he's the emergency option at this point. But at least we have him back, of course. So, like I said, win here, and we probably have already booked our ticket to the final, seeing as who we're going to be facing in the semifinals. But it all comes down to this first and foremost. Can't look past DC United. Compared to how the season's been going, I'm actually a little bit nervous for this match, considering that if we win this, like I said, we could see ourselves through to a final. Early doors, 11 minutes on, and it's a corner kick to DC United, and they just slip it through that far post. Bobby Boswell putting DC United up 1-0 early on. Not good for us, looking to avenge what we did to them earlier in the season. And they're starting off very well. The guy on the line, I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he thought Sean Johnson was going to get it, but he clearly wasn't. And just like that, the first half comes to a close after very little happening after that first goal. DC United holding on to a very slim lead. We have had the majority of possession, roughly about 60%, but we just haven't been getting the shots on target. You know what? I'm not even going to say I might. I'm going to do it right now. Akam's going to move over to the left, and Arturo Alvarez is going to be sitting out there on the right side. Maybe that bit of a shakeup will help us. Free kick, top of the box, Alvarez. Luis Solniak's going to come in for Berbatov, use the pace. And then further down the line, we really haven't had a lot of help down in the back end. So Vincent's going to come out for Jordan Stewart. And I think that's all I'm going to do. 20 minutes left. Corner kick. There's still 2 minutes left in this match. Can we grab one late? Can we send this to extra time? Kokish. Kokish. What a horrible, horrible pass. Can't count these guys out. I mean, I'm not going to end the highlight. I'm not going to give up on a highlight just yet until that final whistle goes. There we go. Yes. As I was saying, I'm not going to count it out until the final whistle goes. And Solniak has put the Fire level so late in this match that we're going to go into extra time. Let's take a look at this again. With 40 seconds left, a good cross from Harrington to Solniak up front. And just like that, we level the match, and we're going to extra time. Oh, I switched the formation up from control to attack, thinking that was going to give us a little bit more of a push. And that's exactly what it did. It took a little bit longer than I wanted to, but it's exactly what it did. Let's go out there, boys. And they very well could see one here or not. It's over the top to Kennedy Igboananike. And the former Chicago Fire player has done us in. It's 2-1 to DC United. God damn it, Kennedy. Not only goddamn it, Kennedy, but goddamn it, my back line. What were you guys doing? You just let him run through. Well, now we got 15 minutes to pull off exactly what we did at the end of the second half. 1 minute stoppage time on this clock. Now, this is exactly what happened the first time. Can it happen again? It's almost unlikely that it's going to happen, but lightning can strike twice. No, the comeback is not on. It's kicked away, and DC United are essentially going to the cup final. Bollocks. We had this. We beat them the first time, and now we can't get the job done here. I feel we didn't deserve to lose. We were the better team on the day. More shots, more possession, but just didn't get the job done. We would have been taking on Jacksonville. All right, so now that we're out of the cup, let's take a look and see what is going to be in store for us in the next episode. We're just strictly going through the league now and taking a look at what we have in store. New England, the Red Bulls, Salt Lake, Real Salt Lake, Orlando City, Montreal Impact. In fact, I feel like we should exact some revenge next time around. Let's take on the LA Galaxy and DC United in the next episode. Like I said, they kicked us out of the cup. Time to exact some revenge in the next episode. So until that time, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this episode. If you like what you saw, please go and hit that like button. Lets me know that you're still interested in the series. And of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Any comments, suggestions, questions, anything else at all, please leave in the comment box below. But as always, guys, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out. Wait a minute. I'm going to be managing the All-Star team. How the hell did I get picked to do that? What's the criteria? They're going to be taking on Stoke City, so that should be a win, right? And Kappelhoff, Johnson, Opara, and Akam from my team are going to be a part of that. All right. Don't know when that'll be, but all right.